It finally happened. After waiting about 4.5 months, Konami finally came down from their ivory tower and blessed us with a ban list. Duelist, it is your boy Winster, and I am back at it again with another video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, everyone who interacts with the channel, everyone who watches, likes, leaves a comment, you guys are the reason why this channel is growing. Thank you for always helping me and supporting me, and I hope that you guys are having a good day. Shout out to my YouTube channel member as always. I appreciate every single one of you guys. And remember, you guys can go ahead and become channel members as a trial, test it out, see if you like this type of content, and you can cancel at any time. But I have to give a shout out to my day ones. Shout out to Thomas Mead, Why Me, Quick, Jay Garcia, Hunter McDonald, Veggie Bell, Yugioh, Steve Fox, Devin Bender, Absolutely Looney, Jared FGC, Zeke, Tyler Wilson, Leo, Denari, the Cyber Dragon God, he told me to call him, Corey, and thank you for the support. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I know I've been lacking with the full videos as of late, but I think everyone, not just myself, have been really waiting for this ban list so we can have something new to talk about, something refreshing. So I have been lacking it, and I apologize, but if you guys want to still become channel members, you guys get a shout out on every single full video. You guys can play with me when I am live on Master Duel Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, and you guys get early content such as full videos like this. So please consider it. I appreciate it. But we have so much to talk about with the new ban list. If you guys can't, understandable, be sure to help out another way. Turn on the notification bell and hit the subscribe button. There is a Discord link in this description box. If you go there, there's going to be a link where you could join for absolutely free. Join the community. You guys could talk with me directly. Positive Yu-Gi-Oh! Community that we have built. So please consider it as well. We have so much to talk about. Let's jump right into today's video. Where do we even begin? Before this ban list, what was dominating? We have the new cards that came out, K9, and K9 just being matched with any archetype. You got Mitsu still at full power, Raizio still one of the best decks as well. Fiendsmith is still running around, and Malice. I think this ban list that Konami ended up dropping, I think it was a pretty good one. I think they addressed a lot of issues, but let's take a look at it. Let's discuss it, my thoughts about it, and what this could potentially mean for the game. We're going to go one step at a time. We're going to be talking about the Unlimited first. Unlimited looks pretty good, look pretty beefy. I think Konami, as of late, from the previous lists that have been coming out, they've been doing a really good job at taking some cards on the list that no longer need to be there or have any kind of relevancy. Glow Bulb, Masterpiece, the True Draco Slayer King, Morphing Jar, Phantom Skyblaster, Snake Eye Ash, Poplar, Draconic Diagram, Lightning Storm, and Zodiac Barrage. I think the ones that really stand up here are Masterpiece, the True Draco Slaying King, and then I think some of the cards that I am just shocked they came back are Snake Eye Ash and Poplar. Zodiac Barrage and Draconic Diagram I think are really good cards as well. Morphing Jar shouldn't have been on there anymore. There's no one plays it. It's too slow. I wasn't playing during Zodiac format or like Masterpiece, and I know a lot of people are fans of those cards, so I'm happy for them. Phantom Skyblaster and Morphing Jar are just too old, and the same thing for Glow Bulb. It's just too old cards that not really doing much, and they should have been on the list. Semi-limited list. Branded Fusion to 2. I think this is a very interesting thing that Konami did. So when it first got hit on the list, it went from 3 to 1. It's understandable. Branded Fusion is an extremely powerful card, but there's a card that stops it, and that's Ash Blossom. Stops the card dead in its tracks, and if it was at 1, it's really hard to recover. Sure, you can play other cards like Thrust to continue to combo and get the cards that you need. Play the trap card Fusion Duplication that copies whichever spell in the graveyard and it becomes that effect. There are multiple ways to play this deck, and because of the hit, it went from like a 45 to like a 40-50 card deck to a 60 card pile playing Grass is Greener and start getting those effects off. I think this is a really interesting card because there wasn't really a fusion deck at the time that was really dominating when it went from 3 to 1. But now that Draco Tail came out, a fusion archetype that has very similar fusion effects as to Branded Fusion, I think it's really weird that they moved this card up to 2. Now, given I don't think Draco Tail branded in any way, shape, or form is like a bad engine, I think it's kind of mid in my personal opinion because Yugioh realistically doesn't need these cards. I think it's really peculiar, right? There wasn't a dominating fusion deck, and then for Konami to just hit it, and it felt random at the time, till now, we have a fusion deck that could potentially be one of the better decks in the format, and then they just release branded fusion. Is it for like home money situation, and Konami just wants to really bank on the branded players, and because how they're big simps for the branded strategy, and for good reason. I love branded. I don't know if it's going to be the best deck in the format or anything like that, but I definitely think it's going to be a contender. And imagine ashing the Ketsu and then for them to just drop branded fusion. You're just like, what? Limited list. I think this is the most caked up part of the list, guys. There's just so much to really break down here. We're going to go archetype at a time. Let's talk about Yugioh. There's only one hit on this part of the list. We'll talk about another hit later. But X Yugioh to 1. Yugioh have been the dominant deck for quite some time, alongside like with Mitsu, maybe Pure, maybe Onamat. But X Yugioh to 1 is really good. It was a searcher, and at the same time breaking your opponent's board by sending something like Aggregator or sending a name that you need in the graveyard to start adding things back. I think this was a really smart hit. I think this card was really, really powerful. It doesn't even activate just like all the other Yugiohs. I think good hit there. Malice Dormouse, which is absolutely crazy. The deck got hit in another way, which we'll get to here in a second. But Malice Dormouse is just really hitting the consistency in these two decks, right? Malice, Yugioh, and again, there's other things that we need to talk about, but I think this is probably one of the more important names in the deck. Just Dormouse just summoning and then activating and starting literally your whole combo off of one card is pretty crazy. I'm trying to really consider if it was even worth it, but you know, we'll talk about how I feel about this list at the end of the video. I think really good there. Vanquish Soul Rosin, that's crazy. Vanquish Soul Rosin. I think this is a really peculiar hit, given it did win Worlds, but it had a weird kind of like format because it had a specific list out for it. So Vanquish Soul in a way wasn't even at full power, but hitting Rosin to 1 is like crazy. Something I genuinely didn't expect, or at least not yet. Lacrima came back off of the list. This is understandable. The time rules are a lot different now, so Lacrima doesn't really play a big role anymore. The double game loss is crazy. Link Rebo. So again, it ties back to Snake Eyes. OSS still being banned. The deck just becomes a little bit harder to play. But again, this just ties back to, you know, Snake Eyes. Summon Sorceress. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what this card does. I wasn't playing when it was at full power, but a lot of people always wanted this card off of the list. Herald of Arclight. This is one hit that I'm not surprised, but at the same time I am, because obviously this is a yummy hit. Herald of Arclight is the negate that the yummy end up putting out. I'm just shocked that the deck hit. It is indirectly, right? Nothing of the main deck got hit just yet. They need to sell the product. They didn't want to flat out ban the card, but it's definitely understandable because this deck could just turbo multiple copies out, which is crazy. And then Zodiac Dryden, another Zodiac card. I really don't know. I just know that maybe is it like a detonator just once per turn. I'd just rather have a detonator. Shout out to Nick. Shout out to Anthony. We were talking about it on Friday at Locals just yesterday. Christian Inclusion. I'm kind of glad to see this card gone. Christian have been climbing up the ranks, and I think in silence, right? Like Lasagna. That's an awful joke. And they've really been one of the better decks, and I think people just kind of overlook them at times because of how dominant the other decks are. But crazy hit there. Obedient Schooled. Obviously, this is yummy hit, not a name or anything like that, but it's an indirect hit. Same thing as like Herald of Arclight. I see why this card got hit because you just summon free bodies onto the field. Stake Your Soul, right? Rosin and Stake Your Soul. That's crazy. Again, I'm just shocked that this card got hit. But we'll break it down. And then Solemn Judgment. That's crazy too. I can understand. I mean, it's an old school card. It's half your life points. Like, it's just no to anything, right? I definitely think that Solemn Judgment, people were playing 3 of it and it was a little annoying. Forbidden List. Some crazy cards here. Some cards are just no need to really explain. Number one, Moon of the Closed Heaven. This is a Fiendsmith hit. This is one of the first Fiendsmith hits, realistically, right? Other than Lacrima, but the only reason they hit that is because of the time rules. But Moon of Closed Heaven, such a crazy card. It turns anything into Fiendsmith combo. Splash Mage, another hit alongside Dormouse, just really hitting the consistency with the deck. And I could understand it realistically. It's just any two Cybers monsters and just go into this and summon it back. Like, bruh, annoying. It's literally like Moon, just for Cybers. King of the Feral Imps, another indirect hit to Yugioh. Not once per turn, so it's an old school card, so you can summon it multiple times and add multiple reptiles, which is crazy. And I think something that didn't really need an explanation is Paradise Smashers, number 67, 67. I think that's the joke, right, that the youngsters are talking about. But yeah, broken card. I pulled this off a couple times. Twin locals, I think like 2 weeks ago or something like that. I want to defeat it out of the way. I can't remember, but yeah, crazy card. Understandable why it ended up getting hit. Really great list overall. I think Konami, as of late, I don't want to jinx them, have been really doing good with the list. They've been putting cards on there, or they've been like pretty beefed up. Other than the semi-limited list, like look at this list. This is crazy. This is a crazy list, and I'm happy that they're addressing some of the problems. Some may not agree with so much, but overall, you know, pretty thick list, and I'm proud that they're at least listening to the community in some sort of aspect. But yeah, let's go ahead and just discuss it overall. Some of the highlights here, I think Konami did really well with this list right here. I think they went a bit over with Moon. I don't think Moon needed to be hit. It's weird to say that Fiendsmith, it feels like it already got power crept with how fast the game is even getting, on top of it, how fast it was now. Not that it's like bad, but I do feel like it got power crept a bit. But it was a bit annoying to like play against Yugioh. They summoned two Yugioh names. Oh well, I got sacked. Right, I got Impermanent Veiler. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go into Closed Moon. So, and that could really apply to like any deck that isn't locked into a specific archetype. So I definitely understand. It really makes it a little bit harder to get into other archetypes. It's like a love-hate thing. I'm glad that they hit it and it makes sense. But at the same time, I feel like it could have been hit in a different way. But understandable. Like Splash Mage, I feel like it was a bit much. I think you can maybe hit like another name for Malice. Maybe if you're really trying to hit the consistency. I definitely think that was it. A lot of people obviously like wanted like Whitebinder to get hit. I don't think it needed to go. I think there are like other bigger problems in the engine, such as like the backup Adagnister. I think that card really allows the deck to like extend even further. But this is just an extender. It doesn't necessarily hit the consistency as much as like Dormouse does. But I feel like they could have taken a different step. King of the Feral Imps. I definitely understand, right? Because Yugioh could just like go right into it. They could set up their board under the 5th summon, and they get that in the gate for the Nibiru, and then just end on the rest of the Mitsurugi. This also cuts the line between Mitsu and Yugioh, so you probably won't see those decks be played as much together, because there's no way to really go into the Mitsurugi line through the Yugioh line, because the consistency is there through this card. Obviously, you'll set up your board, do everything. Okay, King of the Feral Imps, and I'm going to just start, like, doing everything. So, it is an indirect there. Paradise Smashers, look, I'm not a hater. I'm a Paradise Smasher simp. I loved it. Y'all could hate on me in the comment section. I'm just joking. Yeah, this card was toxic, but it was just funny when it would happen. I remember I went to a local, and shout out to my boy Clayton. We ended up playing, and he ogred me when I had this card, and I still won the die roll, so... Look at the draw, right? Oh my god, it was so funny that ended up happening. But this card single-handedly just like wins you games, right? You really can't do much. You stop a canine combo, and they're like, cool, Paradise Smashers. Now you can't play, and then I'll kill you next turn. So, understandable hit, in my opinion. This list is absolutely crazy. I really want to talk about the Vanquish, though. I think that's like the most interesting part about this. We all know how strong this deck is, really consistent. But I think the issue with the deck wasn't how consistency worked. I think the issue with it is just how much it could do on your opponent's turns. The Earth Monster, Halisu, or Caesar Valius, right? I think that's where the deck really becomes a threat. Not only does it feel like they're really aiming for the consistency, but it feels like it's almost unplayable. The deck already was struggling with consistency and probably one of the more brickier top tier decks that I've seen in a long time. Um, this deck will literally just lose to itself and not be able to play. It's happened to me time and time again, right? Where I just get like all high ranking monsters with no Holisu or a starter or a Stake Your Soul, and then wow, now I'm kind of stuck here, right? And even then, the deck didn't need to play into the extra deck. It could have just done a Vanquish Soak like control build. So definitely understandable in that aspect. But I know I definitely think you could have just hit Holly Sue. That's a less Earth monster, and that's like the more brickier one, and one that you really want to see. So I think they maybe did a misstep. I just think they took it a little bit too far. Am I right or am I wrong? Let me know in the comment section how you feel about that. X Rizio, I more so agree with it than I don't. I think X Rizio is definitely a good card, very strong. But I think the bigger problem, and I've said it before, right, with my ban list predictions, if you guys haven't seen that video, I think Cross is the bigger issue. Cross really was the powerhouse because it set up the negate. Yeah, you could set up like this crazy board with Mitsu, Ryzios, all that, right? And Fiendsmith. Shout out to Brandon, he plays Ryzio, Mitsu, Fiendsmith, or he was at least. Um, but the reason that it was so strong is because you could play through Nib. If you just remove the cross, you can't play through Nib. You can't recycle cards back. I think that would maybe been the better option, but that's just my opinion. Lacrima, understandable. Link Variable, like these cards, like who really cares, right? Like Snake Eyes is probably not going to see any play. It'd be crazy. Summon Sources, I don't know enough about it. The Herald of Arclight is a good hit because it was annoying that they were like you would get rid of it and then just summon another one. I'm like, bruh, like you're so annoying. Zodiac Trident, don't know enough. The Christian Inclusion, I'm really glad. I'm glad to see this card to get hit to 1. It was really, really good in the deck. And since they're playing with like K9, they're naturally synergized well because they're level 5 monsters. So I'm really glad that they got hit on the list. Obedient Schooled, same thing. It was so annoying. They would just summon something, and you would try to do something, right? Oh, okay, Obedient Schooled. Oh my god, bro, you're so annoying. Get out of here. So I understand, and especially it was so broken, right? Like you would just like summon 3. Stake Your Soul. I think it's the same backing as far as like Razin. I don't think it really needed to be hit, or I think they were just too drastic with it. If it would have gone to 2. Yes, it won Worlds, and I understand. If you look back at that replay, my man, like game 3 or game 2, they were just like literally passing back and forth. So like, I think they're a little bit too drastic with it. Solemn Judgment, it's a pretty drastic cost to activate. I guess I'm indifferent about it. Branded Fusion, I'm a simp. I'm glad to see it. Bring it back. They got rid of the problematic cards like Gimmick Puppet, but we all know that there's other things you could fucking summon off of Branded Fusion. And then just like give to your opponent. So be careful. That may happen to you at your next local. Coming soon to local near you. I'm just fucking glad that they brought back Snake Eye, Poplar, and Ash, bro. You guys do not understand. So we have 3 Wanted. We have 3 Diabell that you don't really care about because those cards do nothing for you. But now we got 3 Ash and 3 Poplar. So we'll probably play 3 Ash, 1 Poplar, 1 Oak, and hope for the best. I don't know. I just wish we could play OSS with it. I know people are really freaking simping over Masterpiece, so I'm really glad that they got their card and all the Zodiac cards. I think Lightning Storm is also a card that's like maybe being overlooked. It's crazy that it's back at 3. This is Lightning Storm. This is Raigeki and Harpy's Feather Duster put together, given it's for face-up attack position monsters, but still, like, I think that's really good. I think that you could just like board break your opponent like crazy. But overall, solid list. Konami is really taking back, their feedback from the community. Even if you go down the list, right? Like people are like pretty hype about it. This is a funny. Would you rather have 1 Branded Fusion or 2? And it's like Joe from freaking oh my god, KOF. I think it's KOF. People are pretty excited about it. So I'm excited with them too. What is this, bro? What is this? What meme is this? Okay, that's too much. I'm not gonna read all that. Me when miscellaneous source doesn't get at least semi-limited, bro. Like no, Blake McCrae, no, bro. That shit is a quick play. No, we're not doing that, bro. branded players. Like true, bro, true. I think overall solid list, very good. Hopefully Konami moves forward. I just wish they didn't hit like Rosin or Stake Your Soul. They could have just hit Paradise Smashers and that would have been fine. Maybe Yugioh Alisu. Those are my thoughts and opinions on it. Let me know in the comment section below, guys. I'm gonna be doing a tier list here soon of what are gonna be the best decks in the format. I'm excited to see the next YCS. I know there's like a bunch of regionals happening here that unfortunately I already had planned, so I wouldn't be able to go. I think we have like 2 Yuma regionals back to back. We have one this following weekend, the 14th, and I think we have one the following weekend as well. And LA Regional happened today, the 13th. I was potentially going to go, but it just didn't pan out. I'm sorry, Grim. Trust me, I was trying. I'm really excited how the format's going to work. What are people going to think? But let me know in the comment section, guys. Did you like this list? Do you agree with this list? What do you guys think about what I personally think about? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you guys watch my videos. Thank you so much. I'm sorry that I have been lacking, but trust me, there is a lot of content coming soon. So please be subscribed to the channel. But that's going to be it for today's video. I appreciate everyone watching. Love you all. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out, guys.